often does it crash? Is it slow? Are you unable to connect to it
I can hear you now.
quickly or decently? So there's another call.
Never ends. We're going to outgrow this space.
Can we? Yeah.
I hope so.
You're hoping?
Good problem to have.
Yeah. So I think we've got 1, 2, 3, 4.
As far as I'm concerned,
5.
We have 5
Yep.
plus networking, which is a 6. So we have 5 positives: manage IT, network security, data backup and recovery, compliance, project management. 6 is networking. It's a negative, and it's one that kind of infuses the rest.
Right.
Zoho 11 is a tactic of 9. And it is just one of our ways to add value in a kind of workflow development through technology.
Okay.
And to bring about efficiency and productivity and profitability.
Okay, so what we want to do is take those bullet points that you have,
Yes.
and each one of you come up with 3 questions that you would ask that would give you the information in that category. It's not a sell, it's a tell. Make sense?
Yeah.
You got to kind of take the sales hat off because for you it's hard because you already know the problem, right? So you got to step back and ask the questions pertaining to so that you can get that answer you're looking for. Because your sales reps aren't going to know what you know. That's why we're trying to create it so that it doesn't matter if you take an intern, you give him this script, and he's going to be able to run right down it and bring back this to either of you, and you're going to be able to go, yep, we know what to present to him.
In some ways, it might be better to be more removed from the
Oh, it
solution.
is. Oh, it is so much easier.
And you just get the information, understand the problem, and then we can design a solution.
Well, see, the problem is you'd already start selling. That's just what you do. I do the same thing. I'm in there. I already know I walk in and I be going, I already know how to fix this.
All of it.
Yeah.
The problem is
They
he
don't
isn't
know
committed
that.
to spend the money.
And he doesn't trust me yet.
Right. You got it. So I think if we do those, we tie in this, then what we do is how it'll look is now it's this piece. So now we're going to have this 5 or 6 here, right? We're then going to have these 3 categories of where that pain was. So that's what this issue 1 would be, managed IT would be the first problem. Then how often you can see, right? You got that right there, pace. And you're going to look at what's it costing, what actions have been taken, what's the emotion there, and did you get a close to it when you're done? And then I have them rate it 1 out of 10. How do you think your current provider's doing with that? 1 being bad, 10 being great. Where do you think you fall? I'm looking for 2s to 4s or below. 5 or higher, I'm going to question what he's telling me if we found the problems we talked about. Because I'll be honest, you found that pain and this guy rates it at 10, he didn't feel that it's your check, it's your temperature to see if you truly made it painful enough. It's kind of that final, again, for us we don't need it, but for that rookie, he needs that temperature check because he'll know if he missed something and if he has to go back. Because what I'll do is, let's say this comes in at a 7. He's not really upset about this, right? When I'm going through this, and we're talking about hardware, we're talking about inventory management, we're talking about networking, I'm going to find pain that applies here, and I'm going to make it more painful. And I'm going to bring back, well, when Mary and Jorge was dealing with this, it was because the hardware wasn't, and I got to ask, now that we brought that out, I got to ask, do you think you're still a 7? Oh no, probably a 2 or 3. I'm going to fix that problem. That's why I'm able to take that 60%, that 2 range.
Okay, so 10 is less pain. 1 is a lot of it.
Yep.
Okay.
A lot of people like 1 to 5 because they think it's too big. I don't. I want it more. I want a longer range
You want
because.
more detail.
Well, if you go 1 to 5, some people will just never give a 5. There are owners, business people. They don't give anybody, even in evaluations. You are never a 5 because you're never perfect. Mm-hmm. So you're a 4 or less. So that means that 2 is average. So how is 2 going to equate to him? He's thinking at average. You're thinking, wow, this guy, it's a train wreck. And then when you get to present, the guy going, No, I'm not that bad. He's a 2. You didn't read the story right.
Right.
So if it's 1 to 10, he can't do that. 5's the middle, and I know it. 2, so that's why I like 1 to 10. And I do all my surveys that. So when you guys do a survey on yourself, do 1 to 10 when you're talking to the customer. How's our service 1 to 10? So you can get that weighting scale in their head. So when you go and use this 2 years later, when you're talking about how's our performance, and he rates you a 3, you know you got a problem. What do you got to do to fix it so you can keep him as a customer?
Right.
That's all. Because if it's a retention bonus you get, hell, if you're not doing this more frequently than not. Right? So that's what you want to build first. And then when you get through it, you go through these 3, you're done, then I'm going to ask for my walkthrough and go, great, let's have our walkthrough. Remember I wanted to meet these 2 guys? Now ours is going to be IT walkthrough is what we're going to call it. And we're just going to walk through. We're going to take a picture of the floor plan or print it out. I'm going to check off where the printers are, whose office is, what's going on, where's your server, where's your phone line, where's your Cat 5 coming, where's your switch located, where I want to know everything. Because if you're sitting here and the customer calls in and goes, I have a problem, I want you to be able to go, you know where the restroom is? That door next to it's where's your closet where the switch is. Because if you would have asked me on day 1 where I was working, I would have never been able to tell you. And I used to change buildings every week. And I'm in a different building with IT, and IT would go, well, you got to reset the switch.
Yeah.
Okay, where's that? I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice that they go, oh, it's down the hallway next to the ladies' room. Oh, yeah, okay. I know where that is. I just see that being like no one else is doing that. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be able to write in OneDrive, OneNote, whatever you're using for your, you're just going to be able to click that file open, see their floor plan, and go, what machine? Here it is. This is what we got to do. You know what? That one didn't communicate last night. Is it plugged in? Oh no, the Cat 5's that. Yeah, probably the vacuum cleaner popped it out of the wall, or who knows what. They moved furniture or something, right? Oh yeah, that's right. We took all the furniture out of the room. They're painting. They never plugged the printer back in. You know, who knows? But that I just see it being a very good selling tool. So that gives us the one to walk around, see how many of these old pieces of shit are in there. Is there a copier? Is there a printer? Is there this? Is there an old switch? Is the wiring in the back a freaking spider web, or it's nice and clean? It gives you a better understanding. So when you present, you're going to take pictures. And I even ask. I take pictures because I want to be able to make notes really good. And I just do it right on my phone. And then I'll put that in the presentation. And I'll put what our switch looks like installed with neat, colored, beautiful, and then their mess. Mm-hmm. Their extra printer cartridges extra. Anything that shows how we can help them do better. So when that switch does go, we're going to fix it because we're going to make it look like this when it's done. And they're not going to have a problem with paying because they know the end result is X. Mm-hmm. Then I go through my recap. After I'm done doing the walkthrough, I go through all of the pain points of everything. And then I go through kind of how this is going to look. If they're going, and it's kind of, I got to ask, where do you think you fall? 1 to 3. And I make them tell me. And they're going to tell you 1, 2, or 3. Mm-hmm. 9 times out of 10, if you did it right, it's a 3. If you found like we found. If you didn't, and again, the weaker sales rep, they're going to be a 1 or a 2. And it happens more times than not. If it's a 2, I still schedule to present. If it's a 1, I go, I'd like to give you an executive summary on my findings and everything, and at least come back and present that to you. Would that be okay? Because I'll be honest, there's really nothing for Price to present today. But I'd like to come back and at least present everything I found and give you a final. Would that be all right? Great. That gets you back in the building just in case when you bring it to these guys, they go through it and go, oh, no, that's a problem. No, did he say that? Yeah, he did. Well, and he doesn't think he's a 2? Well, no, let's give him a call and ask him a couple more questions. Let's stop back and make another appointment. And I'll be honest, from what the manager reads, I'm able to go, you know what, we need to do another CNA and go back and do another one. And I'll go back and do another CNA with the owner, Or I'll call the owner and go, you know what? I'm the regional, and if you did it with him, I'd have him do the call and go, hey, you know, my name's Robert, and I'm actually the owner, I'm the manager, I'm the director, I'm the, I mean, who knows, right? Mm-hmm. And I go, I'd like to come back out. When Ben was here, he found some really big problems, and I'm really, really concerned that we missed something. Would you mind? I only need about 10, 15 minutes. I really don't even need your time if you're really busy. I'd like to pop in and say hello, but your guy Jorge will be able to help me. Could you give me a couple minutes? And I go in. And I go back through and look at whatever those buttons that maybe we found doing the P&R or doing the one-on-one. And then I go back in, I get that data, then I represent. And then I go back in with the solution. Because if it's not enough pain, presenting price doesn't do any, because all you're going to do is sit there, this guy's going to go no, and you're going to have to keep dropping your price, and that just doesn't win anybody anything. You know, I want to hold margin, and I can keep it at an 80% or higher close ratio doing it this way because we keep moving that swing to 3 each and every time. And then the next is if they're in with somebody, are you under contract, and do you do it for how long? 9 times out of 10. What are you coming up against? Would you say?
Usually they're under contract, like Nathan said.
Okay, how long?
Sometimes it's not even a contract that it's month to month, or it's year, 2 years.
Okay, so it's a mix. It could be any.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that because the CRM is going to tell us when to go back, right? Here's the thing, in the service industry, if the service is below what their expectations of performance are, you can break a contract. Mm-hmm. Because it's called a service guarantee. You cannot perform service and it not be to where the standard is. You can break contract. Now you got to give them notice. Hey, in their contract, they may say they get 30. In janitorial, we had 90 days. UniFirst had 90 days to fix the problem, 3 months. Because if they ordered a garment that was custom, it could take us 3 months to get it for them. It could take that long. Mm-hmm. Now in janitorial, it was 30 days. If you had a contract with Outback, you had 7 days. It was in their contract. So it just depends. So if it's in there, you got to give them it. So I'd say, hey, based on what we found, we're going to give you 14 days to correct this problem. If it isn't resolved in that period of time, I'm taking that as termination of contract, and you can end service. And I'm also sending this to notice that you can't auto-renew any contract that we have with you. So that at least 6 months out, you can get them re-signed before they get renewed. Because a lot of them have that auto-renew policy in there. And then you just waiting game. So now you're going to have buckets, and that's what I call a bucket list. Is you're going to just have a 3 month, 4 month, 8 month, 12 month, 64, and you're just going to start putting clients in it. And you're going to start building this out, and you're going to start finding all of these opportunities out the road. And then you just start marriage with them. This is 6 months out. I'm going to probably reach out to them every 30 days and do something, send them an article, send them something, maybe a mug or a pen or a pop in, hey, just wanted to say how you doing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And keep moving the ball until it's time to get them out of there. I may even say, hey, 30-day, get them out. We'll do our services for free because I'd rather get them out early, get us implemented in, and get done,
Right. Or buy out the contractors.
Whichever.
Yeah.
Yep. You can do any and all of the above, right? And then just flow it right in. Now, that's the first piece of that, right? Sending that letter, getting them to cancel. Now, what do you think the competitor's going to do?
Try and fix the problems, try to keep them from leaving, etc.
So now we have a talk track for that where we're going to tell them, you're going to have, when they cancel, they get this letter, red flag's going to go off, right? Bells, whistles. You're going to see people, and I kind of talk about customer service and quality, which we don't have in here. How do they manage that? So we got to put that in there, is management involvement. So we got to have that in there because that's where we're going to talk about maybe customer service, management involvement, because we want to be able to talk about what they don't do. If they never stop by, they never call, they never evaluate themselves, that's going to be awesome. because when they do come in to save the contract, I'm going to make that the first thing. Well, why is it when there's a problem they're showing up, not when you had a problem?
Right.
Do you really want to work with somebody? When you were telling me HP, when you call, they're here, they fix it, they do a great job. That's what you look for. You were telling me your business, you got a 4-hour guarantee, you're there. I got to ask, when they have a problem, why aren't they coming out and seeing you? So I think we need to have that as 7.
Now, if that's gosh, you'll have to actually.
He's quick.
I don't know if those are what you're looking for.
No, that's good.
But
As far as number 7, management involvement. So are we defining that as
Their management involvement, their
Yeah.
customer service, how is your current vendor today managing your account?
and
Do you see them every periodic time? No, we don't. Do you have, when you have a problem, who do you call? Because I'm going to talk about it through here
who are you
anyway.
gonna call?
When they call, do they respond back fast enough? No, they don't. I'm going to check the box here.
We have a service level agreement. We guarantee a response time in under 5 minutes.
Okay? So you do all that. So now when we present, I'm going to go after that.
our management involvement. So an
No,
on-site.
this is all them. This
Right,
is
right,
all-
right. When we want, like when they switch it back on us and ask us, well, what's your management involvement? Can we do a guarantee? Do we?
So
have a
I talk
guarantee?
about, so I don't try to sell anything here. So what I do when they go,
Yeah, but
so
if they ask this,
no, if they ask the question, so you have, oh, definitely we do. And I'd love to go over exactly what that is, and it sounds like that's very important. So that's something I'm putting on my top of my list, that we'll make sure we'll add that into your presentation. Is that what you'd like to see in your presentation?
Yes,
What did you just do to me?
give you a yes.
And you gave me,
A
you want to see price.
Promise.
You wanna buy.
presentation, right?
So yeah, I can do that. And yes, we do that. To move forward, I have a solution for that. And we have a guarantee in place for that in full detail, and I'll bring that with me.
So what
And I may even have you create a certificate that states that. And when he asks, I pull it out and go, this is our service guarantee, just to leave it with you so you can read it before we present. And I'd leave it with him. That's what I do. I'd have it built into your meeting. So if I found a whole mess of service issues here, I'd leave that with the client and I'd make it as his signature and your signature on it. And I'll give you one that I've used. And it's just our guarantee. And I did it as a performance guarantee that they can break the contract within 30 days or 60 days, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we actually have that
It's a
built
30
into
day.
our contract.
Yeah, and I just printed as a separate certificate because I don't want to give a contract yet.
Yeah.
So I just would print that out and I made it really nice and I signed it as
Yeah.
a regional, and then I had the manager have their name and they sign it. So mine was pre-done digitally, right?
Right.
And then they just sign the next one and hand it to the prospect. And he's going, oh. So when they're saying, whoa, you mean this is a 5-year agreement? Yeah, it is. But you have a 30-day out on performance. Isn't that the only thing that you'd reason to change?
Right.
Because if I'm going to do all of this, is there any reason we'd leave? No. But if I failed you in this or didn't perform, would you want to be able to get out of your contract?
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Great. So what I have here, it's actually signed by our RVP or owner, and he guarantees it. I sign it because I want you to know I'm committed to the same thing. When you have a problem, I'm buying in. I'm partnership with this. Here's my piece to you that if there's a problem, we can't fix it in 30 days, you get out of your contract. What better security of joining a partnership with us than that? Oh, okay, that sounds great. Do you want to know how many times I've used that? Once.
Use. They put that in there.
Right. You can even do a mission in that. I do and I'll bring some so you can see them the next time, a pitch book and a playbook. And the pitch book is really on what the customer looks at, right, as an inward of us. So picture of the company, picture of each of you, picture of bio, what we sell, how we sell it. So when they buy into who we are, you're able to just, and you don't have to have it as a paper form, it's digital, and you can just go, I just want to just flip through, it's like a magazine, and you just go through it like a PowerPoint. And you wouldn't believe how many customers just go, I want to do business with you guys. Because no one else does that.
Right.
Here's Bill. When you call in, you're going to reach Mary. This is Mary. I take my team out to lunch every month and we do a team this. Here's one of our events we did. I mean, that brings in when a guy talks about, you talk about these big companies and you're getting this Google type company, right? Or something where it's that team effort. Maybe I'm trying to think some of the companies doing it now, or a lot of these job placement college kid companies popping up all over.
Recruiting company?
Yeah. I mean, they're like, it's like Google. I mean, they got basketball hoops and food, and that's all they do.
Yeah.
And he sees you're doing this. Oh, I want to align with you. You're who I want to. We have to find that same playing field. So that's where strategic rapport helps you get there. Go through the question, and then you align with it. Now, some of you may not show the book at all because the guy's just he doesn't care. Right. Don't show it. I'll pull that book out maybe one every 10, 12. But the one I pull it out for, home runs it.
So when we're cold calling, and let me just I'm trying to think of where this fits into everything. We have, you have your call blocks, right? And then you jump, you get into the office, and that's to try and schedule a time to talk to the owner or the decision maker. To go in there and present to him very briefly, so you can then talk to the IT guy at that meeting. So we're talking about 3 touches.
Okay.
Before the IT guy, and Tor.
Sounds good.
Well, it could be. But what if I cold call today and I just walked in and I'm doing the janitorial and I walked in and you both were here and you're like, you know what, Robert, come on back. We're here. I got a couple minutes. I'm going to do my cold call and go, usually I set an appointment up to meet with people. It sounds like you guys are extreme because I'm telling them just how busy you are.
Yeah.
You got 15 minutes today. I only have a couple questions I go through to better understand your business, and I can put a proposal together because it sounds like you're in need of a service. Mm-hmm. The lady up front was saying it. She thought it'd be good for us to chat. Do you got a couple minutes? We could do that today. There is nothing wrong as long as you follow the process the same. Right. Doesn't matter how fast that process is. Right. You can accelerate it. So I did the cold call, and after the door got her to tell me, she said, they need the service. Here's so-and-so. Brought me in to meet you. I'm now not at cold call anymore. I'm already at the CNA.
Right.
And I'm going to sit in. Hey, I noticed when I was walking in, I noticed that you had some areas that it looks like maybe you had some construction or paint going on. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we just did that. Wow, awesome. And do you guys currently use a cleaning service? Yeah, we do. Okay. And I do the exact same thing. I come in and go, hey, I noticed that you got some printers over here. Is this actually your server you're using today? Yeah, it is. Oh, great. Where's your switch at? Oh, it's over here. And I go right through the mix, and I drill right in.
Right.
And it's just accelerated. You're just not stopping and resetting. And at the end, the guy goes, it's a small enough company. I don't need to. If you could give me a place to work, I could probably put a proposal together for you today if you think it's merited. Do you? And I let you make the call. Oh, yeah, you can put it together today? Yeah. We can get everything taken care of. Get you sign up, get it all done, get you starting by at least the beginning of the month. Mm-hmm. Okay. What's that going to cost me? Well, can you give me about 15 minutes so I price it all out for you? Because I want to give you the best deal I can. I want to give you the best package. I want to put this, I want to customize this to you. I want to, again, whatever that trigger button is for that client. If it's price, I'm going to make it a price-driven point, even though it isn't. To him, it is. Let me give you the best price I got. I'm here. I don't want to come back. Okay. And I'll work it all out. I'll put it, pull my printer out of my bag, and I'll print it right from my thing, or I'll email it right, depending. I still have my printer. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many times, and I was doing that.
Wait, you have
15 years
a mobile printer?
Oh, yeah, I have the HP mobile printer.
That's awesome.
Battery operated, everything. I don't need power or anything. It's Bluetooth. I can throw a contract right here.
Huh. I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess it makes sense, but yeah.
It's a great little HP printer. And I've been doing that for 20 years now. I had the old Canon, God, the thing had to be this big. My briefcase, I don't think my kids threw it out. My briefcase was as big as this, but it was wood framed, and the front hinged out with the laptop on it. The top was the scanner, and then the shelf slid out with the printer. And I could scan, print, and do all the work right then and there with the client. And I could scan the contract in and send it. And then my Motorola flip tac phone had a plug on it with a box that I could plug the computer in to fax the contract over after I scanned it. All mobile. All on the
that's awesome.
So when I said I was a one-shot wonder out in the field, I right there. And it wowed the client. You pull that out and go, yeah, I can do it. I just need a couple minutes. You got it. And he sees me pull this up. Man, they're like, these guys are state of the art. Yeah. And this is just this. Our specialty is cleaning.
Yeah.
How good do you think our cleaning is if I do this with the computers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why technology, you got to have the state of the art. You know what? Let's do a walkthrough real quick. And I just leave my keypad. I pull it, I take the thing, I do my pen, and I go, all right, here's computer 1, computer 2. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not writing anything. I'm usually faking it because I'm recording everything. I send it and it gets all typed up. I don't write. I just personally don't. I don't have time, and you can't read my chicken scratch, can't you tell? So that's how I do it. And then when I'm done, I go, I can put this all together for you. Now I got to ask, well, what's the better day to come back and get this all put together for you? And I let them tell me. And I always do it that we're putting it together, not I'm presenting a price or we're done. Because if I did this right, there isn't any other reason but buying it. There just isn't. If you painted the picture right. Now, if he's a 2 or a 1, no, there isn't a reason. And then it's just, hey, I'd like to come back and just present my findings and give you an executive summary on everything so you have something to gauge for next time you put this out for bid or proposal or RFP or whatever. Or, God forbid, there ever is a problem in the future. Fair? Sounds good. And I don't give them a price. I give them everything but price on the 1. Still do it all, so they get all of it for them, but I don't give them price. Because I don't want them taking it back to the other company and going, hey, shave price down. No. I don't want them to know. And if I have a client, I'm going here because I don't, just give me a price. I will literally take a piece of paper and put a ridiculous price on it. And it's on. And I go, what the hell's that? You just asked for a price. Or if they won't give me the time of day, or just give me the best. It's got to be cheapest. Okay, it's just you got to be. That's not us. I can tell you who is, and I'll rattle off 3 pieces of crap. And you can go with Coverall or Vanguard or I can't remember the name of them. CleanNet. Go with those guys. You'll love it. That's it. And I just go. And it's funny. 30 days they'll call you. They'll keep them for 30 days. They'll see them not show up, and they'll call me. And I'll say, call me. I'll do the cleaning, the first cleaning, for free to save your butt. But when we do, I'm expecting you to sign my contract.
Right.
And they go, okay. And then they know, hey, when this guy fails, we're in there that next day.
Nice.
So that's the same thing. We got to build that efficiency to it. That's all.
Let's
Cool.
do it.
Yeah.
So this will give us, because here's the thing, now that you build this, now when we're doing the phone block calling, it all kind of starts to fall into playing in the mind, because when we start talking and they start going, well, so what do you guys do? Your commercial's in your mind comfortably. When you're doing one of 3 things, you're comfortable with it. So when you're setting that appointment, we're not talking about any of this. We're talking about solutions we solve. We're able to make your IT problems go away. We can solve efficiency, reduce your recovery time, or even eliminate it. We're able to do this. We've actually helped ABC and XYZ and reduce their overall spend in their IT department. They actually got rid of their IT guy and was able to reduce that because we do it all in-house, in our house for them instead of in your house. Whatever that is. Again, what's better, Tuesday or Thursdays to come out and talk to you? Okay, Tuesday. Great. Now we go out and we start a process. The door knocking, it's just, hey, who's in charge of? Who's the owner?
Right.
I want to know who the IT guy is because that's the guy you want to befriend. In this industry, you need the IT guy. Or at least you want to know who it is, because it's really cool when you knock on the door here and it's John Smith or Jorge, and you go a block down the road and you go, who's your IT guy? And you find out it's Jorge. You go down the road and you find out it's Jorge, and you take one away. Where are you going next to sell? Every place Jorge is, because you're going to walk in and go, oh yeah, we were actually, John used to use Jorge, but we actually do service for him now. Oh really? Oh yeah, why? Well, why don't you give John a call and ask? I'm not going to put Jorge under the bus. He will. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Or I'll go, hey, would you mind giving me a referral over to Bill? I already know. I mean, I'm not going to say Bill. I'm going to say there's a company down the road that's ABC Electric. I know because I've already cold called it. Do you know the owner over there? Oh, yeah, that's John. Well, you know what? I've been trying to get in front of John for... would you mind giving me a referral? Would you mind if I called? Or would you call and see if you could touch base with him? Oh, yeah, sure I will. Or go ahead and call and let him know. Now, when I call and I ask for him and I go, hey, John said it would be a good idea for us to meet. We're actually taking care of his IT services and thought we'd be a benefit to your company. Do you got some time Tuesday or Thursday next week? I'm actually going to be overseeing John then. Okay. Yeah, stop by. It's an easy, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
I think that would be a great place to start with our targeted list. One of our clients is a CPA firm in Arlington, and they love us.
Mm-hmm.
They have hundreds of clients, and most of them are government contractors, which is our target market.
Yeah.
So it might be as simple as going to Brian. Brian, we'd like to meet so-and-so. Could you give us a warm intro? And he'll be like, yeah.
I do it for nothing up front. And if he's not giving you any, I'd come back with a carrot and go, hey, if I sell a client, I'll give you, and again, I don't know what your dollar value,
Yeah.
a week of free service, a month of free service, $100 off, whatever, for the referral, or a free Starbucks, whatever. And, we're doing a drawing. Every referral we get, my sales guy comes out, they're getting a drawing. We're going to give them a $500 gift certificate to Apple or to, HP, or HP's running a contest, whatever you can say.
Yeah.
We're having a contest from HP's running a contest for our salespeople. Whoever has the most presentations with our product, we're getting a X. Would you mind giving us some help with some referrals for? Mm-hmm. And HP's or they're sponsoring us to give you a. And you make it kind of backwards where they feel like it's not coming from you, but it's okay. I'll give it to you because I'm getting something too, and you're winning. It's kind of that help, and you won't believe how many people will do that too.
Good.
Yeah.
So I did my homework. I don't know how
That's
good
quick.
it is,
That's
but what's next?